Welcome, guys. Welcome to our very own Own Your Own Life event. To introduce myself really quickly, my name is Adam. I've been involved in the Juice Plus company for almost 6 years now. May 2014 is when I got invited along to nothing like this. It was actually in somebody's lounge room. So if you are here today, if you're either here live, a big welcome to you guys. On this Easter weekend. Welcome on our live. But if you're watching the recording also, I want to say this. If you have been shared this, if you've been invited this, if you're a guest here today and you're a little bit skeptical or a little bit hesitant about some of the information that might be shared with you today, then I want to say I totally resonate because I was a massive skeptic for a long, long time. I was very hesitant. And I suppose I had a few reasons for that. I think for me personally, I was always a traditional business owner. So I had traditional business mindset. But I'll be honest, traditional business never really delivered on the dreams and aspirations that I was looking for in my life. I was working 60, 70 hours a week. I was missing out on loads of time with my loved ones. And I suppose my values were really challenged with this. I wanted to be a great dad. I wanted to be successful financially and lifestyle, and to try to put that all together in a world that is so fast paced and so much going on. I often say this, that traditional business never delivered on the dreams and aspirations I'm looking for. I would say this also is that, right now, we know that the world is being challenged as a globe, not just as a nation. No matter where you guys are today, whether you're in America, if you're in Canada, if you're here in Australia, Hawaii, the world is certainly being challenged. We as a community are being challenged, and there is no doubt today is about delivering hope, delivering opportunity for people that are looking to take control. And there's no doubt the two things that are going to help us get through what we are going through as a globe right now is how well we can come together as one, as a community, and also that we look after those around us and that we look after ourselves. And there is a great saying that is, if we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, it's the definition of insanity. So today, I'm excited about sharing with you guys. More importantly than anything today is about delivering some great stories. I hope for you today, as you're here, whatever time of the day it is for you, is that you do what I did when I first come along. As skeptical as I might have been, I certainly came with an open heart and an open mind. And I think there has never been a time ever in our lifetimes is that to look outside the box, to be open-minded and really to be able to pivot through a time that none of us have ever seen in our lifetime. So we're going to deliver two things today. We're going to deliver hope in health. We're going to deliver hope in finances and taking responsibility of where we're at in our life. To kick us off, I'm going to pass it over to the gorgeous Sharon. Sharon's going to share about our amazing health component of our biz. So Sharon, take it away.
Thanks so much, Adam. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm very excited to be able to share with you our beautiful Juice Plus products. So I have been a chiropractor now for 24 years. I'm a mum of 3, and I was introduced to the Juice Plus products and business around nearly 5 years ago. And at first, I actually didn't think that we kind of needed any additional nutrition support because we always ate well. I'm a health professional and athlete, so I was very careful with what I was eating and what my children were eating as well. So we had a predominantly plant-based diet. But the thing that I was really excited about was that our kids can get these for free when we order as an adult. So we have a gummy option, which has got the same ingredients as the capsules. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. So I guess, we all try to eat well. We know what we should be having each day, but to actually get the required nutritional quality and quantity each day is just not something that we're able to usually manage each day. And I was definitely one of those busy mums that didn't really have breakfast properly in the morning. I was, would just kind of nibble on the run, whatever was left over from my kids' plates. So when I saw that these Juice Plus capsules actually had a variety of 33 different fruits and veggies in there, that kind of got my curiosity up. And so I thought, well, if I could have a convenient way to get a variety of whole foods that all the colours of the rainbow every single day, I thought, well, nothing to lose, it can't hurt, right? So they're totally safe for pregnancy, breastfeeding, all of that. So I thought, okay, well, let's have a go. When I saw what was in them, things like cranberry, orange, mango, pineapple, acerola, cherry, the berries, they've got things like raspberry, bilberry, blueberry. I mean, I've never even eaten a bilberry. It's got elderberry, artichoke. So I haven't even eaten an elderberry. So the fact that we can get such a beautiful variety of colours, and in the green vegetable blend, we've got things like parsley, carrot, spinach, cabbage, lemon peel. That's what they look like. That's the fruit one there. So to be able to get that variety of goodness every single day into our bodies is such a beautiful health insurance. And I just thought that made sense for us to get started. Within a week, I noticed my energy was a lot better. I used to have cracks on the side of my mouth, which were very embarrassing. If I wore lipstick, it would smudge, and it was awful. It was painful to smile. My bowel was really sluggish. My skin had blotches. And I noticed within a week of taking these capsules, that actually got better. I was very surprised. I'd spent hundreds of dollars on naturopaths and all kinds of other natural remedies that nothing actually worked or made a difference. So I was very surprised at first when I noticed, within a week, big difference in my energy and, my skin. But as I mentioned, the fact that the company with Juice Plus is known as the company with the heart. And at first when I heard that a few years ago, I'm just like, oh, yeah. But after 5 years and seeing the generosity and the impact that we can have on families around the world, I know from every cell in my being that the generosity to be able to provide great nutrition to families. The kids can get these for free for a total of 4 years when an adult orders. So what that means is it's less than a couple of dollars a day for families to get started on 33 different varieties of fruits and veg here in a capsule. I can't even buy a punnet of blueberries for less than $6 here. So, that is such an affordable way to just build our health insurance. I also was very excited when I started to look into the research. So as a health professional, I'm kind of interested in how the body works, and having this backed up by science was pretty cool. So I saw in some of the research how, reducing systemic and joint inflammation, helping out with DNA repair. We've got over 35 different peer-reviewed medical studies that actually highlight a whole stack of different physiological health benefits in the bodies, which is pretty exciting. Decreasing oxidative stress. So for me as an athlete, I love that because my recovery is better, and I can confidently recommend this to patients and fellow athletes that I work with. But that's also a great way to reduce stress, in a chronic way for a lot of our world who's actually under a lot of stress, when we can have a researched safe product that can actually reduce that. So anyway, these are what the little gummies look like. Oh, where are we? Can we see that? So they're the veggie ones, and the fruit ones are red. And they're amazing. I've used those in my marathon training, and it just really boosts recovery because you're actually getting that additional oxidative stress reduction. So that's great. I guess, the other product that I'd love to share about is a bit about these vegan omegas. So an omega blend, omega 3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. So there's no fish. That's what I love about this, is that it bypasses the fish and goes straight to the source. So we've got just a beautiful combination. Kids love this. I actually found my Raynaud's, like a circulation issue, has actually healed up a lot since starting that. So that's been very exciting for us. And we all know the importance of good fats for healthy brain, nervous system, and heart function. So I love just having that confidence that every day my whole family is just getting a variety of beautiful support for our immune system, our nervous system and brain. And then we have another product that I'm really excited to share about, is our Protein Complete. Well, it's actually a whole food powder. So this is a great support for our digestive system. These sachets, we've got a beautiful Dutch chocolate, French vanilla. They taste amazing. You can buy them in a large pouch as well, but I like the individual sachet serves. So these have got another 22 whole foods. So when you're having one of these each day, alongside your capsules, so convenient. There's over 50 plants that we're getting in our body. And I just think that's such a cool way to have great confidence in your family's health. And they taste amazing. So I just whip it up in a smoothie. Sometimes I'll just mix it with some coconut milk or whatever. There's so many options that we've got to be able to enjoy and get that extra goodness in. The other product, we actually have some cool bars as well. This is a chocolate one, which are great for a snack on the run, great for kids' lunch boxes. So these have also got, you know, great protein, great fibre in there, and they taste awesome. And then the other product that I'm also wanted just to highlight, and we're going to hear from Lauren a bit later, is our amazing Tower Garden, which is an indoor or outdoor plant kind of structure that you can actually create your own beautiful produce. And we've got so many different types that we have available to be able to grow your own goodness. I can see we've got Shirley's in the background on her picture there. She's got a Tower Garden there. So that is just such a great way to include the whole family in health and learning about, you know, great nutrition for our kids and getting them involved. So I'm just excited to hear from some of the other, you know, great ladies that are on the line, because that's really the best way to help our products come to life. So I want to hear from actually one of my best friends ever is Tanya. So she's from Hawaii. So I'm going to cross over to Tanya, and she's going to share, you know, what you love about the products and how you found your family,
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much, gorgeous. So thanks for having me on here today, and happy Easter to everyone who is celebrating. I know we're celebrating today, the kids and I. My name's Tanya, and I have 3 kids, 15, 12 and 10. And until a few years ago, I was a high school chemistry teacher. And so I left that to homeschool my kids when we came here to Hawaii. Just because of the school system here. So, you know, even though we're living in Hawaii, I'm an Aussie. I haven't lived at home for over 20 years, but I've married an American. And so, you know, we found our home here. So about 4 years ago, my beautiful friend Sharon, who you just heard from, introduced me to the products. And at the time, you know, we were at a place in our life where we were just always exhausted. The kids and I and my husband, we're all very active. We're all very healthy. We ate, you know, a nutritional, you know, rich, diet. And, but we were just still like really burning the candle at both ends. And so, you know, Sharon, we've been best friends for decades now. So I just completely put all of my trust in her, and the whole family started on the products, which was, you know, amazing. It was just a game changer for us. So, you know, I was diagnosed with a couple of different autoimmune issues about 8 years ago. And so for anyone that suffers from autoimmune disorders will know the chronic fatigue that you feel, the brain fog. You know, I was surviving on 5 cups of coffee a day. I was surviving on naps in the afternoon. So it was just really not sustainable at all. And so, you know, after starting on the products, you know, I was, you know, fully trusting of them, but my husband is a massive skeptic. You know, he doesn't believe in taking, you know, just fruit and vegetables to enhance your immune system. So, you know, he was actually the first person who came home after a week, and he no longer needed his cup of coffee. He came home. I still remember he walked in the door and he just said, "How are you feeling?" And I said, "Same old same." And he said, "Oh, I don't need a coffee and I don't feel like I need to take a nap. I feel great." And, you know, so that was really where it all started changing for us. And about a week or 2 after that, I started noticing that my brain fog lifted, my energy was improving. And, you know, even though the kids weren't really aware of it, I could see that they were going off to practice and they were lasting their days so much better. They were sleeping better. You know, just our immunity as a family was improving over time. And, you know, another really huge change for us was my younger son, Jaden, who's now 12. He was 8 at the time. he had suffered from severe eczema since he was 6 months old, since he was a baby. And it was really heartbreaking for us because he would scratch his skin so hard at night that we would have to change the sheets in the morning from the blood on the sheets. And, you know, about a month or two after being on the products, I remember he walked in and, you know, he used to wear long pants every day to school because he was so embarrassed of his ashy skin. And he walked into me and he said, "Mum," he goes, I'm brown. And my husband's black and, you know, I've got dark skin. So for him to come into us and say, you know, that he first noticed he was brown after 8 years of life was a real game changer, you know, and it was so moving for us. And, you know, so now he's really proud of his skin. You know, he doesn't scratch so hard. It's amazing. And, you know, so my husband had improvements, my son, my kids, and, you know, I had been on medication with my autoimmune issues. I'm now 4 years fast forwarding. I'm off all medication. I no longer drink coffee because I need it. I love coffee still, but you know, I only have my cup or two a day. My blood work is normal, and my doctors are always angry at me for not taking medication that they've recommended, but I'm completely normal. And, you know, another thing that I love is, you know, we've moved around a lot around the globe. And so, you know, I'm able to do this business, you know, even with all of our international moves, I'm able to do this business around, you know, homeschooling my kids and, you know, help other families in the same way that, you know, we've had such huge improvements as well. So, you know, a lot has happened for us in the last 4 years, but, you know, so I'm going to head over now to hear from another lady, Louise, who's going to share her story as well.
Thank you, Tanya. Hi, guys. As you mentioned, my name is Louise. I'm so excited actually to share my story because when I first started Juice Plus, I would say I was pretty healthy. Like, I'd been on a bit of a health journey for, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years up until then. So I was just happy to put all these nutrients into my bodies. But what I did have when I started Juice Plus, I was 28 when I started, I had acne. And my story with acne is very interesting because when I was 14, I had this weird thing go on with birth control. And I was like, that doesn't seem normal. So I stopped taking birth control and my skin just went, it went nuts. And so you're in high school, right? So everybody says it's hormones, you're going through hormones, this and that. And so I told myself, okay, when I'm like 20 or 21, when I'm like done puberty, my skin will probably clear up. So I'll just hang tight, right? I'm in high school. So that happened and my skin was still awful. And so early 20s, I was like, okay, maybe I'm still like a little bit in puberty. And that was when my health journey started. I started eating better and, you know, paying attention to things like that. So fast forward to like 24, 25, I was like, for sure, my skin's going to clear up soon. It's going to happen. Like, this acne is going to go away. I'm not a baby anymore. And it just never went away. And so at that time, I was a little obsessed with the whole natural thing. So I refused to put cream on my face. I didn't wear makeup. I still, like, to this day, don't wear makeup because I just don't want to put things on my face. So I was like, whatever, I guess I'm just going to have acne for the rest of my life. I was pretty lucky when I started Juice Plus. Like, I already felt really good, but it just made sense to me to have all these nutrients in my body. Living in a ski town wage, you know, it's hard to always buy organic. And so it just made sense. It just made sense to me. And I had zero expectations for my face. I honestly was like, I'm going to be like this forever, whatever. You know, people always think I'm like 10 years younger than I actually am. That's fine. And so I just knew something was going on. Like, I knew something inside of me, something in my gut, some sort of inflammation was there. And I just couldn't quite pinpoint it. I tried cutting out different foods and there was no pattern. And so I started Juice Plus and I had zero expectations because I had my mind set, like, I am going to just have acne forever. So that wasn't my expectation with Juice Plus. And then I started taking it and it probably took about 4 or 5 months before it started to clear up. And it was like little bouts. I'd go like a week with like clear skin. I was like, oh, wow, okay. And I thought maybe it had to do with my cycle. And then it went like a month. And then all of a sudden one day, like, I'll never forget, like, the first time my boyfriend came up to me and not only did he say my face looks clear, he said, your skin looks nice. I bawled my eyes out like a little baby. I was like, I never thought anybody would ever say that to me ever. So it's funny because I tried to put together a story before and after pictures. I scrolled years back through my social media, through Facebook, like all of it. And I don't have before pictures because I conveniently was very good at not taking selfies, or when I did take pictures, it was always from far away. And I knew what side of my face was less broken out, and I would literally angle my face in those directions, or like with the light. So I do have pictures, however, of all the scars that I had. And that's where I'm so glad Sharon was sharing the omegas, because for me, when I started taking when I first started Juice Plus, the omegas weren't out yet. And then the omegas came out and I started taking them. And that's where the scars actually cleared up, because I also thought the scars were going to stay forever, because I have my skin kind of likes to scar a little bit. And so I just was like, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe my skin cleared up. I can't believe, I still I'll walk around and people will say my skin looks nice. Thank you to all the comments in there. And I honestly would have never thought in my whole life 3-4 years ago that anybody would say that to me. So now I'm studying to be a nutritionist. I'm almost in my course, but I know now I really understand now that there was obviously some sort of inflammation in my body, something in my gut that just wasn't right, and I just couldn't quite pinpoint it through my food. And I tried some supplements and that did nothing. So when I found Juice Plus, it just, the enzymes in there, they help break down food. So my tummy's obviously very happy right now, and it shows in my skin. And I mean, I'm a high energy person anyways, but I can tell when I don't have them, it's my sleep that I find gets really affected. It gets a bit wonky. So I'm so grateful to have it in my life. As someone who was healthy before, to actually see it in my skin was just mind-boggling for me personally. So thanks for listening to my story, guys. I'm going to pass it on to Katrina, who's going to share about our beautiful business.
Thank you so much, Han. That was, the stories today are amazing. It's early morning here for me, and that is just a perfect way to wake up. Look, my name is Katrina Stark, and I love this part of the business because obviously the product makes sense to so many people. You hear stories like that and it's contagious. You want to see what it does in your body. And from what I found in the 4 years of being involved, everybody has a different story. And that's why I find this so beautiful. But my favorite part of this entire opportunity is the business behind it. And I say that really proudly because when I used to look from the outside, I was totally skeptical of online work. A little bit of a backstory for me. 4 years ago when I said yes to this, life was totally different. And I don't even say totally different as a little cliche. I mean, so different. I was trading so many hours for dollars. I was just leaving a very abusive and scary relationship. And it left me with 2 small children by myself. So you can imagine I was not full of confidence. I was not full of get up and go, but I had a lot of a reason why. The product made sense to me, and my girlfriend was doing really well running the business. I was, however, running my own traditional business. I was a dance teacher, and that alone, if anybody has ever had a small business, didn't pay my bills. So I was working at a daycare during the day to make up some wage so that I could have the solo life and create some memories for my kids. And, I try and say this one, especially in the morning, because a little emotional, but for me, the biggest part of wanting to look further into an alternate way to make income was my daughter came up to me, and she was only about 4 at the time, and she had her little BFF, and she said, Lucy's birthday is on the weekend and her mum wants to take me to Putt-Putt. Can we go? And at that stage, I was the mum at the groceries, transferring $10 to one account, $5 from the other so that I could pay for my bills. So the thought of outlaying $50 to take her to Putt-Putt, I'm not sure if you guys call it that over there, mini golf basically, it wasn't possible. An extra $50 in my budget was just not there. So I had to turn around and say to her, I'm so sorry, honey, we just can't afford it this week. And I saw her heart just die. And I thought to myself, here I am as a mum working all day, then passing her off so that I can work all night. And still at the end of the week, I'm saying to her, we don't have enough money. And that for me was my moment of, screw this. Honestly, I just cannot keep living this because there was no light at the end of the tunnel. That was going to be me for another 40 years, missing out on all the moments with my children. And, you know, I had a lot of goals and a lot of passion, and I was just exhausted by the end of the week. I was definitely not living in my zone of happiness. So I came back with my tail between my legs to my girlfriend and I said, what is it that you're doing? Can you tell me about it? I've got an open mind. I'm very skeptical though, because I've been in traditional business for a long time. So I'd love to know more. And, you know, we had lots of conversations. I had to break down a lot. But for me, I think the business model, when it was actually shown to me, was amazing. It was exactly what I was looking for. I just never realized it existed. It was a way to create flexible income in stolen moments, which was great because I didn't have a lot of time, but it was the freedom to be able to create the income that I wanted. That to me was mind blowing, because I'd always been told, you know, you show up for work for 40 hours a week, this is your wage, or struggle in a small business until it finally makes money 15 years later. So somebody to say to me, here, do this, and I'll give you a $500 bonus, and you can do that as many times as you want. My mind was like, holy, where has this been? So, you know, I was a little bit skeptical, but I needed it shown to me. And that's why I love this part of the business, because it shows me how to do it. You know, and I'm really pleased to say that not only in the 4 years have I now got an extra $50 to take my daughter to mini golf whenever I want, but I now create a 6-figure income every year, and I provide a beautiful life for my children. So that is probably my most powerful part of this business model, is the freedom and the flexibility it gives back. So when I first started my dance studio, right, I needed about 12,000 Australian dollars, so about 25 US for you guys. About 25 Australian dollars for us, back to front, to start. And I knew realistically that was not money I had saved or was ever going to get handed to. So I had to go into a retail position to save up enough money to have that, to be able to start my traditional business. It had a lot of overheads. So I went into a retail position. I'm a hard worker. So within a couple of years, I was putting money aside, and I actually managed to make my way up to a leadership level in management. Now, I loved this job because it was fun and it was flexible, but for me, it was a short-time thing. I could never be in this for too long. I had to ask when I wanted to pee. I had to ask when I wanted time off. I had to constantly be told, wear your uniform, this doesn't look right, we don't like your hair like that. And it was degrading to me. I like to have my freedom, and that certainly didn't give it to me, but it was a means to an end. So I swapped my time for a dollar figure, and I showed up in here to save enough money to start my business. Now, had I have started in here and had no backup plan, I would never have gone any further. I built my skills. You know, I was very good at my job, but the CEO position and all the board of directors and any of the upper management was given to family. It was a family-run business. So basically, even if I swapped another 40 hours of my life here, I was never going to get further. And I didn't like the feel of that glass ceiling. So becoming the CEO of my own business was super important to me. But what I realized was that even though this model works, you know, people start down here, they grow their skills, they go up, the positions got smaller. Now, in a dance studio with predominantly women, that created chaos. I had women stepping over each other. I had women backstabbing each other, coming to me, gossiping about things, and it created such a horrible energy. Now, I'm a big energy person, and to me, I hated going to work, because even though I was the boss, I was the CEO, I felt like I was running a kindergarten every day, because I was constantly moving people around who were trying to show me their power, their potential, their talent. So as they moved up, they made money for me. But as the start of an early small business, everything that I was making was leaving in overheads. Insurance, rent, wages, water, utilities. And it didn't mean that my girls were getting it at the end of the day. So like I mentioned, a lot of time working really hard and just not seeing the results. This business model, however, is totally different. And I love this because it broke a lot of stigmas that I had inside my head. This business model, same principle, we start off down the bottom and we build our skills. But as you can see, the model goes up in an open way. The positions don't get smaller at the top. And to me, that was life-changing, because like I've mentioned, I'd seen people crawl over each other to get promotions, and I hated what it created inside our environment. National Marketing Director is the pinnacle position of the model that we utilize, and there's unlimited positions up there. So anybody that I teach, I can help become the CEO of their business. What I love the most about this business though, in over 4 years, I've met so many different people And not everybody wants the big flashy income. They don't want the six-figure income and the six-figure business. Perhaps they just want a couple of extra $100 to be able to take their family on a holiday every year. Or perhaps they want, an extra $100 a month so that they can buy the dress or the coffee or whatever it is, so that they don't have to take money from their hardworking husband. There's so many different stories. I have a beautiful lady here from New Zealand who wanted to create $4,000 a month so that she could travel and do yoga around the world. So that was her goal, that was her passion. So I was able to teach her through our system how to create that $4,000 and then go and live her passion. And to me, that was honestly such a free business model. It was such a liberating way to create money. And obviously, you do this whenever it suits you. So if you've got children, you can do it when they're asleep at home. If you've got a full-time job, you can do it when you come home. If you're on shift work, you can do it when it suits you. And that was how I built my entire business. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other things that I could go into. How we get paid is so amazing. We actually get paid multiple ways. And when I was talking about before with the glass ceiling, to me, that was something that was so exciting. I had all the systems lined out for me. I knew that I could create an extra, so-and-so here and then an extra so-and-so there. And I knew at the end of the month that would collate so much money for me. And to me, it gave me the freedom and the control back. Somebody who was coming out of the relationship that I did, in order to have the control back was so massive for me. And I honestly think that's why I'm so passionate about sharing this around, because I've seen time and time again so many people give their control over to their employee, or their control over to their spouse, or their control over to something other than themselves. And I love watching people shine as they come right back into that control center and go, you know what, I'm going to create something amazing. So I'm going to shoot on over now. I'm going to hear from some people who have started creating something amazing along their journey. And our first lovely lady is Hannah. So take it away, Hannah.
Hey, everybody. So before getting into this business, I was working in the travel industry, and it was something that I had gone to school for. I worked hard to get to where I was. And once I was in the job, I continued working hard, doing my part, learning and growing. But I just always felt like that energy wasn't being reciprocated to me. And so I just really felt undervalued and underpaid. And when I went to my boss asking for opportunities for growth, it was made very clear to me that I was disposable, that my pay was always going to be dependent on how much the company was bringing in. And I just really felt like I had to teach myself everything. So I realized that if I wanted to be part of a better company culture and I wanted to have those opportunities for growth, that I needed to make my own path for that, because it clearly just was not going to happen within that company. And so I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I wanted to be celebrated and supported for all the accomplishments that I made. And I realized that I shouldn't have to do it on my own. And so, from joining this business and being supported by all of my mentors, having those people backing me up every step of the way, it just really opened up so many doors for me. And it made me realize how much different life can be. And so I have, the time freedom to be able to make my own hours and work from home. And I get to work with these amazing people who I have things in common with. And, to have this to lean back on, especially right now, has just been so amazing for me. And beyond all of those things that it's brought for me, what it mostly has been most important to me is that I always used to be, at least I considered myself the shy girl. And I wanted to have that confidence to be able to be, like chatterbox and talk to people. But I guess I just always felt like I had nothing to say. And so from joining this business, not only do I have these people who just empower me to be confident, but also I have something that I'm so passionate about that I get to share with people. And so I'm just really grateful to be able to share my story. And thank you so much for listening. I'm going to pass it on to Lauren.
Hi there, everyone. Happy Easter to those of you here in the United States, and happy Monday to all of you, I guess, over there in Australia. My name is Lauren Slocum Lahav. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. And before I share my story, I mean, how many of you, I just see in the comments there, but how many of you have truly been inspired by these stories that you've heard? I mean, everything from how people have taken their health to the next level, the things that they're able to say yes to. I'm sure that all of us have thought of someone. So my story is, mine's a lot different, I guess, in a weird sort of way. I heard about this company back in 1989. Some of you weren't born there. And someone came and shared a water filter with me. And they said, look, try this water filter for a week. And after a week, if you don't, like the water filter, then you can give it back. Well, I love the water filter. And I said, oh my gosh, where do I send everybody to? Now, at the time I was working 4 jobs in Southern California, because you needed 4 jobs in Southern California to stay above ground. And so that my friends said, come, just send them to me. Well, about a year later, he goes, hey, there's this big party. Why don't you come join us at this big party in Tennessee? So I went to this party, and he goes, you should stay the next day because there is a conference going on. So I went to the conference, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I could have done this as a business. And all these people, my friend never told me about the business. So I knew about Juice Plus from another friend of mine, Jeff Roberti, and I've been in the personal development world for 30 years now. I worked with Tony Robbins, and I launched a program for him called Life Mastery in Fiji. Was teaching about 36-week-long health program. So I knew everything, supposedly. I was very arrogant. I was very cocky. So anytime someone would come to me with fruits and vegetables in a capsule, I'm like, oh my gosh, seriously. But I got paid per event. So if I didn't work an event, I didn't get paid. I'm sure like many of us, right? Like this whole thing that if we don't work, we didn't get paid. And I love what I did. I loved it. I mean, I also, written books, and I was doing seminars, but just like Katrina was saying, it was like money was going out to build websites, to pay people to do this, to pay people that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like crazy. So I was teaching an event 12 years ago in Irvine, California, and I was teaching 3 weeks back to back. My daughter was 3 months old. She was with me. And then my other 2 boys were back here in Las Vegas. And it felt like all the money that I was making went to the babysitter that was with me, and the rest of my money went to the babysitters who were back in Las Vegas. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. I felt that the money was gone before I'd even gotten paid. I don't know if you know someone like that. And I was 41 at the time. I'm like, I'm too freaking smart to be so freaking stupid. Anyway, the company, Tony Robbins' company, had come out with some new health products. The doctor who created the product was there to, introduce those products. I went up to her afterwards and I said, what can I take because I'm nursing, and what can I give to my kids? She goes, you can't give your kids any of these products, and you can't take these products. I'm like, well, I'm not going to stand up in front of the room and say something that had contraindications. So my friend Jeff Roberti was there at that program. I say his Snoopy ears went up. He said, you can give your kids Juice Plus. And I'm like, oh, seriously, go away with the fruits and vegetables. And then he told me something that, especially here in America, makes a big, big, big difference. Now, I was an independent contractor. So what that meant was I was paying about $2,500 a month for a family of 4 for our health insurance, $5,000 per person as a deductible. So that was $20,000 just as a deductible. And he said, look, he goes, you can build a business. You can work with anybody that you want to work with. And you'd be able, with the top position, the national marketing director position she shared with you, you can get health insurance. And now it's for QNMD. You can get those, a position right before that position. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. And I don't know if anybody knows an independent contractor, but that's a really big thing. Eye, dental, chiropractic, long-term disability. We also get college support. So any kids in college, you get $1,850 towards their college education. But even though I was like, okay, I don't know about this, I had a friend with an autoimmune disorder, lupus, and she was calling me as I was talking to my friend. And my friend Jeff was like, just come to this just come with us. Just come check out the company. I'm like, I'm too busy. I'm doing all these different things. I don't have time. I got to go see my family. And then I thought, well, if I make up excuses here, where else am I going to make up excuses? So I went to a conference 2 days later in Memphis, and I saw the research. And I saw, when you're looking at anything, you want to look at research and results. That's what you're looking at. And you've heard some amazing stories of what happened. I was like, wow, this just makes sense. And I started calling people. My friend with lupus, the primary research, double-blind, placebo primary research on the product itself. And they were introducing that on the autoimmune disorders, specifically lupus. And I thought, who did I know, love, and care about? You know, I was just looking on this call. We have amazing community around the world. When Carolina's on, I see we have from Poland, right? So you get to decide who you get to work with anywhere in the world. I mean, think about who do you know, love, and care about. So what this business has done for me, oh my gosh, I just pinch myself every day as I'm writing in these chats. Like, I'm so blessed to work with people that I really love, and I get to choose, and I'm not waiting for an event. Like, what if I had said no? Now the event world is just, where is it, right? Big events, you know, just growing overnight, just gone. We're able to transition. You know, just this past weekend, we did an event with 2,000 people online and helping people really grow their businesses, right? And you get to be a part of it. You're really part of seeing their growth and seeing what's been able to be done. So we, you know, to have, you know, amazing people that you get to work with in 25 different countries and expanding daily is pretty exciting for me. Even my kids have been on Juice Plus. You know, I love the products that you can take them from, we say, from the womb to the tomb. My kids haven't had a sick day. They have wellness days. You know, I was traveling 275 days a year, and, you know, and it's amazing how strong our immune systems, you know, are because of these products. My new tower garden, like she says over there, my new baby tower home over there that literally takes up less than 24 inches. And so anyway, I've been able to say yes. I've been able to I'm going to ask you a question. How many of you would like to contribute more, like to give back? You'd like to be able to, like, anytime a GoFundMe comes up on your Facebook, you can say yes, 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 right? I think we all want to go out there and be able to say yes to more, to help more people, to do more good in the world. And the world needs our leadership now. And this is that wonderful opportunity. My son is, you know, he met his fiance through this business. They're QNMDs with this business. And it's open to anyone. And just think about who do you know, love, and care about that you can share. And I'm excited that so many of you are on from Hawaii and the US and Australia, obviously, and New Zealand. But that's what it is. I'm living in I'm living here in the house I only dreamed about. My son was in New York with his fiance, and I was able to, like, say, you know what, come here to Vegas, and I had a home for them that they can stay in. That's what this really is allowing us to do, and to really share. As Adam said in the very beginning, we're sharing health, but we're mostly selling hope. And anyway, that's what we're sharing, and I'm excited to get to know you all better. I'm going to pass it back to Adam. Amazing dad and hungry. I remember when Adam, I remember specifically where I was in my house when Adam said yes. So back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Lauren. Thanks to all the girls that did share today. Super excited to have you guys here. Amazing stories. I suppose what I want to do in wrapping is a couple of things. One is, I suppose, what have we shared today? I suppose what we have shared today is an amazing company that's been around for 50 years of existence, this amazing company. The same founder and owner 50 years ago is the same guy today, Jay Martin, a guy, you know, with amazing ethics that has built an incredible community of like-minded individuals that are on a mission to really make an impact in so many people's lives, to really, you know, in a time right now in our life around the world that there is so much uncertainty around our health and our financial independence, certainty, and security. So that's one thing, to be aligned with that, to be aligned with an incredible, simple, time-tested, science-proven product. You know, if you're here today, I'm going to say there's three types of people that are normally here today, whether you're watching the live, whether you're watching the recording. And you might be person A, that maybe, you know, being around or connected with an incredible community, maybe more online right now, but to be around a like-minded individuals that want to raise you up, that maybe, you know, taking your health to the next level is something that you're interested in doing. Then maybe you're that person, and I encourage you to reach out to the person that shared this with you. Maybe you're someone who wants to create more financial independence, more flexibility, and more certainty and security in your life. You're ready to take your life into your own hands and not rely on external forces to control your life. And there has never been a time ever before in our life that maybe this has become important, that a plan B has become more important than right now. You know, hats off to the guys that are already here that have already been ahead of the game and been thinking about a plan B, but there's been never been a time in our lifetime than right now that a plan B is so important. And what I love about this is that we have an ability to not only to be able to harness that for ourselves, but to be able to reach out and share that with others. And maybe your person C also is that maybe you've already thought of at least one person that needs to see what this is about. And I want to say this, you know, before I came along to this, no one could have explained what this was for me, that there was a certain feeling about what I saw when I came to an event like this. And I would encourage you guys that maybe instead of trying to explain what this would be to someone that you really love and admire and want to be able to help through whatever situation they're going through right now, is just invite them to come have a look. There's a unique opportunity that I'm going to share with you guys today, and that is this. In 45 minutes time, we're going to be doing this all over again. We're going to be doing an amazing event just like this. So if you're a guest here, even if you're a part of this community already and that you know that someone needs to listen to this, I'm going to encourage you to pick up your phone in the next half an hour, message somebody and say, hey, what are you up to in the next 45 minutes or so time? What are you up to? Can I send you something? I just wanted to share something with you that I feel like you need to check out, that I can't help but think you might be interested. My advice is not to try to explain it, but just to reach out, give them an opportunity to jump on. And as an extra bonus, what's really unique, that if you are a guest here today, there might be an opportunity that you could literally be a part of this for free. There is an opportunity that you might have the opportunity to be a part of this for free, which is kind of crazy. Part of me feels like I don't want to give it away for free. It's an amazing gift that I want people to value, but not only that you have the opportunity to potentially get this thing for free, but you might have the opportunity to share it with somebody else and they could have an opportunity to take the most of this. This is a really unique opportunity that's happening this week. We're going to tell you more details as we go on, but our first and foremost is that knowledge is not power. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. And I want to, action is where the real power is. So I want to encourage you guys, if you're on here, this is not a mistake. While you're here, you're meant to be here today, tonight, wherever you are. And I want to encourage you guys that you utilize what you have, put this into action, reach out to somebody. This is about helping people. This is about giving people hope again, to give you more hope, to give the people around you that you love and admire hope too. So hopefully you guys can make the most of it. I hope you guys enjoyed today, tonight, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to catching up with you guys really, really soon. Bye for now. Ciao.